In the heart of a sun-drenched village, where cobblestone paths wound between timber-framed houses, lived Leo. His world was a symphony of simple joys: the warmth of his oven, the soft dough beneath his hands, and the comforting aroma of fresh bread that filled the air each morning. Leo wasn't just a baker, he was the village's beating heart. He knew every villager by name, every child's favorite pastry, and every elder's preferred loaf. His days were a rhythmic dance of kneading, baking, and sharing smiles over the counter of his cozy shop. Life was perfect. It was peaceful, predictable, and profoundly his. He wouldn't have traded his flour-dusted apron for all the gold in the world. He believed his purpose was right here, in the simple act of providing for his community, one loaf at a time. The laughter of children chasing each other with warm buns was his greatest reward, the quiet nods of appreciation from the farmers his highest praise. One crisp afternoon, as golden light streamed through his shop window, a figure appeared, cutting a sharp silhouette against the familiar, friendly bustle of the village square. This was no ordinary traveler. The stranger was draped in robes the color of twilight. The face obscured by a deep cowl, an aura of ancient magic and urgent purpose clung to them like a second skin. The chattering of the villagers hushed, their eyes turning towards the mysterious visitor who walked with an unnerving silence, their steps making no sound on the stones. The figure strode directly to Leo's bakery, bypassing everyone else as if drawn by an invisible thread. They stopped at his counter, and a voice, echoing with the weight of ages, filled the sudden quiet. "I seek Leo, the baker." Leo, wiping his hands on his apron, simply nodded. "That's me. How can I help you? Are you hungry? I've just pulled a fresh batch of sourdough from the oven." The messengers slowly lowered their hood, revealing eyes that seemed to hold distant galaxies. "I am a herald of the Celestial Council," they announced, their voice resonating with an otherworldly power that made the very air vibrate. A great shadow gathers at the edge of the world, a blight that consumes light and hope. Ancient prophecies have foretold its coming, and they have also named the one who is destined to stand against it, the one with a heart of pure gold and the strength of the unyielding earth. The chosen one is you, Leo. The villagers who had gathered at the door gasped. Whispers rippled through the small crowd. Leo, the chosen one. A gentle baker, destined to fight some cosmic shadow? It seemed impossible, a tale from a forgotten storybook. Leo himself just stared, his mind struggling to connect the grand, terrifying words with his simple life of flour and fire. Him a hero? It had to be a mistake. The messenger extended a hand, a faint, silvery light glowing round their palm. "The path is laid before you. You must leave this place, journey to the sunken temple, and retrieve the Aegis of Dawn. It is the only weapon that can dispel the encroaching darkness. Your destiny awaits, great hero." The title hung awkwardly in the air, a cloak far too large and ornate for a simple baker. Leo looked from the messenger as glowing hand to the familiar faces of his friends and neighbors peering in. He saw Mrs. Gable, for whom he saved the softest brioche for her aging teeth. He saw young Timmy, who always came by for a broken cookie. He saw the life he had built, the peace he cherished. A slow smile touched Leo's lips, but it was one of confusion, not excitement. He shook his head, a gesture so simple yet so utterly defiant in the face of destiny. "I think you have the wrong person," he said, his voice calm and steady. "I appreciate the offer," Leo began, choosing his words carefully. "It sounds like a very important job, but I'm a baker. My responsibility is here." He gestured around his shop, at the cooling racks filled with bread, the bags of flour stacked in the corner. "These people depend on me. Who will bake their daily bread if I go chasing shadows? Who will make Alara's birthday cake next week? Who will ensure the elders have something warm to eat when the nights get cold? My destiny isn't in some sunken temple. It's right here, in this village. I'm sorry, but I must refuse." A stunned silence fell over the bakery. The messenger looked at him, their ancient eyes filled with disbelief. Refuse? No chosen one had ever refused the call. It was unthinkable. The very fabric of prophecy seemed to tremble at his words. The villagers murmured, some looking at Leo with admiration, others with a dawning fear. He had chosen them over the world. The messenger's expression hardened, the mystical aura around them dimming. You do not understand the gravity of your choice, the herald warned, their voice losing its ethereal echo and taking on a sharp, grim edge. This isn't a simple request you can decline. The shadow does not care for your village or your bread. It is a mindless, devouring entity. By refusing to fight it, you are not saving your home. You are condemning it to be the first to fall. Your inaction will be the very thing that destroys everything you hold dear. The herald's gaze swept over the fearful faces of the villagers. When the light fades from their eyes, remember that you held the torch and refused to light it. With that dire pronouncement, the messenger turned and departed as silently as they had arrived, melting back into the afternoon light, leaving behind a chill that the warmth of Leo's oven could not dispel. The prophecy, and its warning, now hung over the village like a storm cloud. In the days that followed, an unsettling quiet replaced the village's usual cheerful hum. A strange gloom seemed to cling to the edges of the woods, and the sun, once so bright and warm, now seemed distant and pale. Leo tried to continue as before, kneading his dough with a forced enthusiasm, his laughter a little too loud in the bakery. He told himself he had made the right choice. He was a baker, not a warrior. His duty was to his community, to the tangible needs of the people he loved. He would protect them with his presence, with the comfort of normalcy. Yet he couldn't ignore the changes. The birds sang less, the vibrant wildflowers at the village edge began to wither, their colors turning to a sickly gray. The shadow, once a distant threat and a prophecy, was now becoming a creeping reality. He had chosen his simple, peaceful life, but the consequences of that choice were beginning to arrive at his doorstep. He started to see it in the faces of his friends. The easy smiles were replaced with tight, worried lines. Parents held their children a little closer. The laughter in the square became muted, replaced by anxious whispers. One evening, young Timmy came to the shop, not for a cookie, but to tell Leo he was afraid of the dark, that he saw creepy, moving shadows outside his window at night. Mrs. Gable confided that her old bones felt a chill that had nothing to do with the weather. The fear was a poison, seeping into the heart of his beloved community. Leo stood at the door of his bakery as dusk fell, watching the unnaturally deep twilight crawl over the rooftops. The world he had fought to protect was being eroded from the inside out by the very fear he had hoped to prevent. He looked at his flour-dusted hands, the hands of a baker, and for the first time, he wondered if they were meant for something more. The conflict tore at him, a deep, troubled look settling on his face. His simple choice had led to a complex and terrifying consequence, and he was beginning to realize that you can't run from a shadow that is destined to find you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.